everybody. This is your boy Food Junkie on my way to work as normal. Y'all know how I do it when I'm on my way to work. We like to talk about anything and everything, anybody and everybody. Y'all keep me company, and hopefully I keep you guys slightly entertained. Let's just get into the commentary, you guys. We all know what's going on in the news right now on YouTube. Not this bullshit that happened in this sector, but as you know, everything that I talk about always relate to this sector and how we are just a small microcosm of what's going on in the world and what's going on around us. Well, as Lady could say, right outside our window. We all know what's going on with the Kwame Brown situation was now, or we have heard of the Kwame Brown situation. When I fell into it about a week or so ago, I kept quiet for a couple of days because I wanted to make sure that I understood what was going on with the situation. And then for the past couple of days, I've been, posting some of his videos, things like that. Posting some of his lives, things like that, just to, let people know that there's more going on in this sector than this bullshit that we're happening right now in this sector. There's a lot more going on in the world than just the bullshit that's going on in this sector. So, running the streets was not listening to Kwame Brown and what he's saying and what he's doing, things like that. I ran across Dr. Boyce Watkins, the video he made today about Kwame and the situation, about how he can be taken down, stuff like that, how if someone wanted to instantly silence him, pretty much gave them the blueprint. Hence the title, Educated Fools. With power comes responsibilities. As big as Dr. Boyce Watkins' platform is, compared to how small my platform is, we both have power. There's power in the tongue. There's power in what you say and what you put out there was not. It's what you put out there in an atmosphere that someone may not have thought about or looked at in that certain way. And when you bring it up, especially when it's towards someone that's in a negative way, you give power to that negative energy. You give power to whatever that negative thought is, because you put it out there. Be it on a huge platform or be it on a small platform, you never know who's going to run across that platform. You never know what is going to catch fire. And when you're educated and trying to educate people, you should be very cautious about what you put out there, how you put it out there, and to whom your audience is geared to. See, not every dollar, every dime, every quarter, every nickel, every penny is worth it. Not everything that you do to make a profit, you should do to make a profit. What's up, babies? How y'all doing? It's really funny how someone as educated and articulate as a Dr. Boyce Watkins is. It's kind of funny to me that he doesn't understand the ramifications of his words. It's funny that, people like that don't understand, or try not to, for me, my opinion only this on the Food Junkie's thinking now, do stuff and seemingly not understand the consequences for their actions. Maybe because they haven't had consequences for their actions previously that affected them enough for them to actually be affected or learn from. See, having degrees doesn't make you smart. Being able to apply what you know and what you've learned and what the education that you have garnered makes you intelligent, makes you smart. Being able to apply the intellect, being able to apply the lessons, being able to apply based on observing things. See, I'm not a big fan of Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm not an enemy of his either. I don't dislike him. It's just that I see you for who you are. Someone who's in it for a dime, someone who's in it for $1, someone who's in it for the monetary value. And you use the fact that you are well spoken, you use the fact that you are articulate, you use the fact that you are educated to do that, which is fine. But in the process of you doing that, you also damage us as a people. See, it's the ones with the education, it's the ones with the aptitude to garner support and to garner people's ears, listening ears, that does the most damage. It's the ones that have the big audiences and the big crowds that causes the most damage for our people. See, now, do I agree with every single thing that Kwame Brown have said, or how he have responded? No, but I do agree with a lot of it. I do agree with the fact that he has been quiet for damn near 20 years, or a little bit over 20 years, was not, while he was the butt of jokes, while he was the commentary for so many people, was not. And now that he's speaking out, people are getting offended about how he's speaking out. I don't agree with all the cussing he does. I don't agree with all the N-words he uses. Was not, as you guys know, all over here, I don't do those things. But what he says, I agree with. I can look past the cussing, I can look past the N-words, I can look past all the stuff that he does that I don't necessarily agree with, or necessarily I don't do, to listen to the message that he's trying to put out there, listen to the message and to the words that he is saying. I can do that. I can do that without being dismissive of what he's saying. It's just because he's saying it in a way that I necessarily may not agree with. And when we have leaders in our community, people who people look up to in our community, seemingly saying, "Oh, I agree with you, but if y'all want to make them be quiet, this is what y'all can do. This is how y'all do it." Basically, in essence, giving people the blueprint to silence this man, to keep him from telling his truth as he knows it to be. With power comes responsibility. And Dr. Boyce Watkins, you have power with your voice. Your platform is large enough for you to, I wouldn't say reach out to him, because that's not your responsibility as well, but also not to have put out there ways for people to hurt this man further than they already have damaged his psyche, reputation, energy, whatever his may be. But as you say, mama's cooking keeps him protected. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I'm just confused of, like, when I see people who have this influence, this influence talking about someone, but yet at the same time saying that they are all about the people, bettering their fellow man, bettering their brother, bettering their race, furthering their race, was not trying to make their race more independent. How can that be done when you're out here giving everybody and anybody the blueprint to take someone of the same race down? That confuses me. Your message gets muddied, your message gets jumbled, your message gets twisted and tangled in the mud and the nonsense that you have created by doing commentary. I know everyone's doing commentary on this situation. Like I said, everyone knows about it. Everyone's talking about it, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I talked about it. I've shared stuff in it. But I'm not going to try to damage, silence, give the blueprint to do so either. It's funny to me how all these educated people out there has become fools. You're all going against this one man, or seemingly, I should say, going against this one man who just said, leave him alone. He will no longer be the butt of your jokes. He will no longer be the individuals that you want him to be. You know what I'm saying? He would no longer sit silently and let you keep poking at him. How many times have I told you guys, if you poke someone long enough, they're going to start poking back. And not everyone plays the same way. Not everyone roasts and gags, not everyone drags, not everyone plays the way you want them to play. And you can't get offended if you're playing with someone or poking someone and they decide to respond in the way that they know how to respond. I'm just saying, hey, babies, how y'all doing? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. You know, me personally, I think Kwame is becoming oversaturated. He's caught the YouTube bug. So every thought that he has comes out of his mouth and on camera. You know, I've never been down with that, period. You said I never been down with that. Was not every thought coming out someone have is YouTube worthy. You know what I'm saying? Like them, still following them, still watching them. But I'm not gonna watch 8 videos that you make a day. It ain't that serious for me. It's just not. I live my own life how I live my own life was not in me sitting around watching you for 8 different videos, an hour a piece or so was not. I work, as y'all see I'm going to work right now. What's up, baby? How you doing? I just can't do it. But at the same time, I'm not going to silence your voice. I get to pick and choose what I choose to engage in. I pick and choose in what I choose to do. And I'm not trying to downplay what he's going through, because what he's going through, y'all know I wouldn't have been through it for 20 years. Shit, I can't be silent for 20 years. I can't be quiet. I can't let somebody keep poking me. You get 1 or 2 pokes, and next thing you know, I'm in that ass. This is what it is. But yeah, I think what Dr. Boyce Watkins did was totally uncalled for. I think it was coin. I think it was very underhanded, undermined. Was not. I think it was saying dual-spirited. While speaking that you want it to be for his betterment, was not. You're trying to pretty much show his downfall at the same time, which I don't like. I don't agree with. I think that's kind of messed up, especially for someone who is as influential as you are. We need to be very mindful about what we put out there. Was that we need to be very mindful about what we choose to show the world. And as a people, we wonder why we don't ever grow, why we don't ever develop, why we don't ever move forward or move past where we are. Yes, there's some, because you have a lot of money in your accounts, you think that you've made it. Knowing darn well, you are still the N-word that they think you are. I think it was Shan who showed something about Dominique Wilkins. He's a Hall of Famer NBA player as well, who kind of is a little bit. He was a great basketball player. Was not. I remember growing up watching him. Great basketball player. Slam dunk his head off. Was not. You know what I'm saying? Great player. Where I guess a couple weeks ago, a week ago, was that he was pretty much, he felt that he was discriminated against because of what he had on and the color of his skin at one of these little posh bulkhead restaurants here in Atlanta. No matter how much money you are, how famous you are still the N-word to the people. And when we treat each other as such, especially when you are influential, you give them the permission to treat us as such. Because based on how we treat each other, based on showing no loyalty, showing no integrity, showing no steadfastness with what it is that we need to do. It's really funny to me how we as a people want all this, let's get together, but yet we're not getting together as a whole. We're always differentiating between who has this and who has that, which is basically the has and the have-nots. And everyone is willing to do whatever it needs to do to get a piece of the pie, regardless of what type of detriment it brings onto their brother. I find it totally ridiculous. I find it totally insane that we want outsiders to treat us a certain way, but within the fold, we treat each other worse than any outsiders have ever said. And even Kwame always says, these people that he's fighting with, that he's battling with, have spoken to him, have called him names, and then said things about him was not worse than anyone outside have ever done. And they do it to him more so than they would to someone outside the race. Which is kind of funny and silly. We treat each other worse than any outsider can treat us. Because we allow them to do it, because we don't like someone. We don't like what someone said, how someone moved, how someone acted. I'm just saying, y'all, make it make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. And even over here in this little small sector, this is a very small section of YouTube where we're at right now, that I'm a part of. If I'm not talking about the BS or the nonsense and the bullshit that goes on in this sector about somebody else that we don't ever know, those are speaking truth and reality, speaking realness, I want y'all the likes. Because you want the bullshit, you want the mess, you want the nonsense. Who said what about who? In this little small sector. All y'all here is on the repeat and repeat situation. If everyone's talking about the same thing, but yet all y'all say y'all want different content. If everyone's talking about the same situation, the same stories, the same BS, nonsense over here with the Kwame Brown situation is to what's going on to the world and with the world. How it's directly parallel. What's going on in the world is parallel to what's going on with Kwame Brown. And what's with Kwame Brown is parallel to what's going on over here in this little small sector. It's funny to me how people say, oh, they want something different, but yet they don't do something different. That's why when I say that I don't want an apology from people, I don't do apologies. The best apology for me is changed behavior. The best attitude for change is changed behavior. Stop doing the same thing over and over again, responding the same way over and over again, talking about the same things over and over again, and expecting something to be different. How can it be different when you haven't changed anything? How can you want different and expect different when you haven't changed or done anything to get different? It's just funny to me how people don't understand that. You know, if he would have spoke up 20 years ago, when he first started picking up on that was not, he wouldn't be going through what he's going through right now. He probably wouldn't be where he is right now financially, but the point is, you made a conscious decision as well, Kwame Brown, to keep your mouth shut for a paycheck. Because as you said, it was more money than you've ever seen before. More money than the majority of us will ever see. At the same time, what is your soul? What is your integrity? What is your value? You know what I'm saying? Life is always about, y'all know what I say, life is always about choices. You make a choice, people only treat you how you allow them to treat you. And when you allow people to treat you a certain way for 20 years, you can't be mad when they still treat you the same way 20 years later. I'm just saying. I teach people how I want them to respond to me and how I want them to behave to me and with me. Either you can treat me in a way that I am asking you to treat me, or we would not be engaging with each other one way or the other. It just is what it is. You know, I can't be mad because someone's poking at me and I don't tell them to stop for 20 years. But at the same time, it doesn't give me the right to tell him how he needs to respond and what was right and wrong for him. I'm just saying, with me, food junkie, I'm not going to sit here and let people dog me out or say stuff too much to me or it's not for 20 years. When I can say, please stop. That's not funny. I don't want to be the butt of your joke. You know what I'm saying? You treat people treat you the way you allow them to. And you being silent, I should say. You taught people how to treat you. The people who started off doing it and the people who came in over the years doing it. Because you chose to sit there quietly. You chose to sit there, you know what I'm saying, with your head down, was not seemingly as if you was listening, or seemingly as they were sunning you. And now you realize that was a mistake. You got what you have now, but what did it cost you? What has it cost you? Like I said, educated fools, and with power comes responsibility. I can't expect people to treat me differently when all I accepted from them was bad behavior. I can't expect people to, you know, handle me when I want to be handled, when I allow them to handle me any way they wanted to be, any way that they wanted to. I can't allow that. Like I can't be mad at them wholly, and I have to take some responsibility for myself as well. But you know, what I'm saying, like I said, you have every right to speak your mind. You have every right to say what you need to say, and I agree with a lot that he says. But like I said, at the same time, I think today his response to Dr. Boyce Watkins was definitely appropriate. Because you handed them the blueprint to how to basically silence him. I don't know, y'all. This world is kind of crazy. The world is getting, I don't know, people being locked up in their homes, not being able to socialize in the physical with people was not being able to converse with people was not on a mature adult level. But this whole situation is becoming worse and worse and worse, and it's affecting everyone. It's a thread that weaves through all of society that we have, you know what I'm saying, lost our morality, lost our integrity, lost our sense of humanity. You know, we have a platform. It's great when you're trying to implement change. It also could be a downfall when all you're doing is running after the mighty dollar, chasing that little bit of coin, trying to make sure that your voice is heard in a crowd. You know what I'm saying? That can be a good thing and a bad thing, depends on how you look at it, depends on what you do with that power that you have. I said, even with this little small platform I have right now, there's power in it. I try not to. I said try not to, because I do pop off and act a fool every once in a while. But for the most part, that's not where I stay, that's not where I live. I try to show the best of myself. While other times I do tap into the works of myself as well. But I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I was kind of, I won't say disappointed. I was kind of set aback by Dr. Boyce Watkins. You know, although I know that, like I said, I'm not a fan of his, because I know he does some stuff that I feel is damaging, giving the enemy weapons that they shouldn't have. You know, but you know, move on and tell somebody what to do with their platform. I just choose not to, you know what I'm saying, watch or subscribe to, engage with. I heard, you know, Kwame Brown's response, and if you know, y'all know how I do it. I hear the response, I hear something that intrigues me, then I have to go do some research about it. And that's what I did. And I was like, another buffoonery, another coonery type behavior. But you know, that's my humble opinion. Well, y'all, to come to y'all really quick to talk to y'all about that was I tell y'all really to be careful, be mindful about the power that you possess and what you do and how you do things. It's okay to make your money and put out your content or listen to certain things. But when you have a broad audience, you really need to cultivate the content that you put out there to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, it's not harmful to people. It's not going to silence people unless that's your goal. You know what I'm saying? Don't be an educated fool. And think about it. With great power comes great responsibility. Hope y'all have a great day. Hope you guys are safe out here on the railroad streets and on these YouTube streets. I love you guys for being here. But as you guys know, it's not important that I love you. It's more important that you love yourself. You love someone else. You respect yourself. And you definitely respect someone else. Until next time, y'all, this is your boy Food Junkie. And hope y'all have a great day. Until next time, y'all. Peace.